Just tell us you can
I
bench
owed
more
it
than
to
him
him.
and you're good.
Oh,
You probably could.
we might. I don't know, man. We'll have to test it.
Uh-oh. Challenge.
That's Brian's
Challenge.
weakness. Anytime
Brian-
someone says they can bench more than Brian, and he also doesn't like people that are taller than him.
One day I'm gonna walk up and punch you in the face and see what happens.
No, just embrace him and give him a
Yeah.
kiss. That's it.
All right, guys.
There you
All
go.
right, calm
He
down,
might, he
calm
might like
down.
that too much. Yeah, that's too much.
All right, let's save it for the pod.
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 3 of 2025. I'm Chris Louie and want to wish a very happy anniversary to my wife of 14 years.
That's it? Just 14?
14. With me, I have my co-host, the Cloud God, who knows right off the top of his head what the traditional 14th year anniversary gift is.
I only know that because we flew to Africa and illegally hunted a rhino, killed it, chopped its ivory tusk off, because that's exactly what we get our wives on their 14th anniversary. Am I right or wrong?
You were going after the tusk for medicinal purposes, right? Not for that other stuff.
I actually have no idea what you're talking about.
So you're half right, Brian. It is ivory for 14, but ivory does not come from rhinos.
That's right.
Oh, just elephants only?
Yeah. Rhino horn is used for
that's
other things you might need help with at your age, Brian.
Yes.
yeah.
Medicinal
yeah.
purposes.
You need help, Mr. Expert Pervert.
And we have Glenn Medina, who has probably been married at least twice as long as me. What's the secret, Glenn?
What is this? It's 32 years this past
Oh my
weekend. This
God.
past week. Yeah.
Happy
You
anniversary.
get married when you're 10, by prearranged marriage by Asian parents, and there you go. By the time you're 30, you've been married twice as long as Chris. So I'm just kidding. No, 32 years celebrated last week. It was fun, and the secret that I tell everyone is you better learn to say I'm sorry in your repertoire. So that's helped me a lot.
Is that for both you and your wife, or just you?
Just me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Rosie doesn't apologize?
Rarely. Well, she would if she was wrong. So she's never wrong. So, that's not true. She's wrong some of the time, but she won't admit it. So
Our guest this week is the renowned expert on startup culture and money laundering, Cody Anderson.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know if I really want the money laundering tied to me, but happy to be here. Yeah, I would take like marriage expert over that, but yeah, man. Really happy to be here. I appreciate you guys having me on. Met Brian in the gym actually. Brian was probably benching like 4 plates or something when I saw him, and I was like, I gotta get to know this guy, and we both happen to be in tech, yeah, I've been chatting for a while since, and I do have some fun startup stories. If we got time to get into them, would love to share. Not money laundering, but I do have embezzlement history. So, yeah.
is that 4 15-pound plates? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
You know what? Screw you, dude. The guy's over here trying to gas me up, and you're just putting me down.
We know Brian's
Shows
weak
you
spot.
how little Glenn knows about lifting. There's no such thing as a 15-pound plate.
Maybe at Planet Fitness they have 15s.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
For
him,
sure.
the purple people eater. But yeah, Cody's a good dude, man. I'm not even too sure how we became friends, but yeah, this over time. And then he's also pretty awesome. He actually took time out of his day to talk with my boy regarding software engineering and that kind of career path. So thanks so much, man, for doing that. I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. Happy to be here.
All around good guy.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
So Cody currently works at Diaper with a Y, since every startup has to have a regular word but spelled slightly differently. And Brian was very excited to have you on the podcast. He hasn't stopped talking about you since he bumped into you at the gym.
I gotta ask. So when you come up with names for companies, I can't imagine you think of the association of other words that come with that. Like when I think of diaper, it's like, okay, there's got to be something to this, right?
Yeah,
Liz.
I didn't come up with diaper. My wife always makes fun of my business names that I come up with because diaper is probably like inside of my realm of what I would have come up with, just very explicit, not I don't know names. But yeah, didn't come up with this one. But usually in the past, I got some bad names that my wife will make fun of me for. So
Gotcha.
This
That
dude
is
also
startup
has
life.
like a repertoire of just crazy business ideas, like startup ideas himself. I'm not gonna like out him on it right now because somebody might take it and get rich, but he's got a couple cool ones. Maybe we'll save it for when we're done recording.
no, yeah, for sure. No, it's good. Like I've always been the idea guy starting in college. That's actually how I got into tech. Is I took a gym idea. Funny enough, I wanted an app built, and I took it to a tech guy I networked into, and asked him how much it would cost, and he said $150,000, and for like a basic mobile app. And so I thought, back then, well, I want this app to be built really bad. I'm just gonna learn how to do it myself. And worst case scenario, the idea doesn't work out, and then someone else will come along and pay me $150,000 to build it. And so that was actually like my intro into technology back in college.
And it turned out to be the app to find human feces in San Francisco. So good job on that.
I wish I could take credit for that one. Yeah, great idea.
Little did you know that you could have built that app in India for about $200, right? So
Yeah, no, it's
Good all outsourcing.
yeah, it's exciting now, the world of AI and outsourcing. It's like the idea guy's time, right? Like you can think up an idea and have it built in a weekend, so it's fun.
Combined, we have decades of information security experience and here not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories for this week, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This week, we're going to talk about a popular scam going around, the crypto scam of the week. For our third topic, we'll get into startup life and close with Google Trends for 2024. For our first topic, this is our annual public service announcement to our listeners about what types of scams are targeting the general public. SMS phishing scams are nothing new, but for about a year or so, the scammers out there are looking for ways to bypass Apple's built-in phishing protection feature for text messages and iMessage. If an unknown number texts or sends you an iMessage with a hyperlink, Apple will not allow you to click on that hyperlink until you reply, presumably letting Apple know that you trust the contact and it's okay to turn the hyperlink live. Scammers are now including a message at the end to reply the letter Y to the text message to acknowledge that you got it, exit the message, then go back in so the hyperlink becomes clickable. I personally get a few of these every week, and over the Christmas break, I actually got a message about Fast Track. That's the toll system we use here in California that I missed paying a toll and had to pay it online using their link or face heavy fines and penalties. I think basically everybody got it here in the Bay Area. My family members were messaging me about it. There were tons of posts about it on Nextdoor, and Fast Track themselves had to put out a statement that it was a scam. But it did include that text at the bottom that says, reply Y to this message, go out, come back in, and then click on the link.
Honestly, if you're going to reply Y to that text message, just do it like a selfie with your credit card exposed, right? just hand them the money instead. Be a better idea.
Well,
Less work on both parts.
Lockdown would prevent that from being opened even if you did respond, right?
I think so. I think lockdown mode has some kind of protection against unknown contacts and sending you links and stuff.
Yeah.
When was the last time you guys received a phishing link?
Every day.
Yeah, multiple times per week.
Okay. What about you, Cody?
I get a lot of emails for sure. Probably, I would say like 3 a week ish.
Google's
From
pretty
an
good
email
about that,
or
though.
smishing?
Yeah, smishing.
Yeah. You ever get the text
Smishing?
message ones? or
No,
not?
I don't think I've got a text message one actually.
I wonder if this is because like your guys' area code is just more subject to dumb
Vulnerable.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be. Like, I have a Bay Area code, so they knew to target me with the Fast Track one. Like, I know, Brian, you wouldn't get targeted with Fast Track because you don't have that in Arizona.
My
I
daughter
don't know what
sent me a
Fast Track
text.
is.
Yeah, my daughter sent me a message saying, "Is this legit?" And I'm like, first, the car is not registered in your name, so they would never contact you. I would be the one to contact you. And yes, if you look at the link, it's not a good link. So delete.
And the phone number it came from, the international prefix is the Philippines, so yet another red flag that someone in the Philippines should not be trying to get you to pay for your fine here in California.
Yeah.
You can always tell when it's like a fake USPS thing, right? It's like that or unpaid tolls. It's like nothing's original anymore, right? This is out there. It seems legit, but it's like an email from, or I'm sorry, a text message from like USPS123XOXO.net telling us that our package is being held hostage. I don't believe it.
I feel bad though. I mean, how many other people? I mean, if you sent this out to 1 million people, what's the success rate of them getting scammed? 1%, 2%?
Even 1/10 of 1% of 1 million people is still something.
That's a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who doesn't get a smishing text? Is people in Alabama. They probably sort by like the prefix, and they're like, oh, those are just poor people down there. We'll focus on the Bay Area. That's why you guys get so many. Me and Cody don't get much every day.
No, not out there in Arizona. There's somebody on our company chat program that was complaining about one in Texas where they actually said they were driving on this particular roadway, and then they got a message that was fairly convincing. But being an InfoSec, they recognized it as a scam. And for the fast track one, I said, "Oh, the joke's on you. I didn't go anywhere for Christmas. I didn't drive my car, so I definitely know that's not true."
By the way,
deny.
Smishing sounds a lot like smashing, which sounds like something completely different, if you ask
That's
me.
different. Yeah, if the scammer is trying to smash you, that's something totally different than trying to get your credit card info.
Yeah. Now that
Maybe they smash you first.
yeah, now hearing you guys talk, I actually was reminded of one I got hit with crypto, and they actually texted me, called me, and emailed me like all at the same time saying my Coinbase account was like vulnerable or like had been hacked. And so that one was pretty impressive for sure, just because they gave me like the triple threat. So
Was it because you use FTX?
they actually did say yeah, but I didn't use FTX, and that was one of the ways it was like pretty clear. Like they're like, oh, you were probably part of the FTX hack or whatever. Like, and I was like, no, I wasn't. I never had an account. So, but
That's awesome.
but
It reminds me of the...
sorry, go ahead, Brian.
finish your thought, Cody. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say some of those wallet addresses that they do, like they're earning on the crypto side. Some of them are making like $50,000 plus like a day or a week, doing those scams. So it's pretty wild to see how many people they actually get.
Yeah, crime does pay.
Seems like someone literally took the idea from Ryan Howard on The Office. Remember Woof? WUPHF? It was a multifunctional platform that simultaneously emails, texts, social medias, and faxes you at the same time. They've integrated this and used it against Cody. Thank God it didn't work.
Yeah, for real.
And there's always these leaks that I think a Bitcoin form got hacked, Ledger got hacked. They just steal all these customer databases of people that they know are into crypto, or they just scrape data from people posting publicly about it. And then that's how they can more effectively target you with these crypto scam type things.
That's why I just want to sit alone in a room. No technology, just leave me alone. To my thoughts. Can I just do that and get paid somehow?
Well, there was that story we did a few weeks ago. It was some guy out in DC that he got like 200 million in crypto stolen from him, doing exactly that, impersonating Google, impersonating Coinbase or Genesis. I think it was Genesis, and then resetting his password, resetting his 2FA codes, and they just stole all his crypto.
Ooh.
Damn. Cody, did you say $250 or $50,000 a day or a week?
Yeah, so
that might just change jobs.
Yeah, for real. No, like sometimes it was there were like when the wallet address I looked up, it would have high and low days, but like some days it would have nothing, and then some days it would have like 100 Ethereum get transferred in, and it's just like seeing that is just like that's brutal.
It's
How'd you come across that wallet address? Yeah, I'm curious. Were you just watching the ledger or what?
Yeah,
or the blockchain?
Yeah, I forget. It was a little while back. It was like last year, but it was something to do with them trying to get me to send the money. So because I fell off. Like I fell off later in the flow, so I got pretty scared at first, like with my Coinbase account, and so like I took a call with them, and then that's when it became clear to me like these are not Coinbase officials. So like they weren't able to like
the number too.
Yeah, they were all able to do a lot until it came down to like my actual account and everything. So then they didn't have any details.
Was there a particular accent involved?
Yeah, actually the English was really like working in tech. Like I'm used to working with people all over the globe and stuff. So like, I feel like that wasn't like an indication for me, and I'm like more of a front end developer. So, we're gullible and we write security vulnerabilities all the time. So my security knowledge was clearly lacking, so like, we're a big part of the problem, out there with security. So,
whoa.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you
keeping us in business.
Yes,
yeah,
right.
no, yeah, we job security for all of you, so, especially in the startup world. We're just slinging code out there, and hoping AI catches stuff now. So,
oh my gosh, that is terrifying, but 100% true. We joke about this, but you're actually saying it out loud for once. I'm very happy to hear this.
Yeah, no, most front end developers won't admit it, but it's true. So.
Have you ever taken any like secure coding classes or certifications, anything like that?
Yeah, back in college, like I did information systems in college, and so a lot of my like it was a mix of business and coding, right? But very kind of lighter on the coding side. But we did have some like security, like I think one security class, is all in like a networking class where we kind of tapped into some of it, but. Yeah, so like since college, like I keep up on it sometimes, but yeah, to be honest, like I think that's where a lot of the issues come up, right? Is, full stack, like coding boot camps, full stack developers, front end developers, it's not something we keep up with or do ongoing education around. So especially in the startup.
Well, I guess security, security professionals, we have to do what, 40 hours a year? Something to continue my certification, keep up on security.
Yeah.
It's always these continuing.
This podcast counts for, right?
This does, yes. So all you listeners out there, every week, put this down as your continuing education credit.
Yeah, I have started listening recently, so I take that back. I do continuing education through this podcast. So
Nice.
Thanks for being a listener.
Thanks to Brian. Yeah, all because I became friends with Brian.
All right, well, be careful out there. And I think they did a study on smishing techs, and they said the top most impersonated brand for last year was USPS, so the U.S. Postal Service, and these kind of misdelivery, your packages held hostage scams. Could be DHL, UPS, whatever your local delivery service is. And then the next one would be these tolls, that now that we have so many toll roads, at least here in America, that people are just afraid of getting these massive fines. And government being government, it's hard to tell the difference between a scam and an actual government website, but just double check and always go to the source of the website and not click on these links.
You get that the yellow screen of death and it's an ASP.net error. You're like, I don't know. It seems kind of sketchy, but it is a
scam, or is this a government website? Hard to tell.
Yes, both.
True. All right, for our second topic, people have varying feelings about organized religion, but I think most people can agree that a person in a position of authority with any religion should not use that power to prey on their congregation. That's exactly what one pastor from Washington State did when he involved his congregation in a cryptocurrency scam. He recruited all his parishioners to join his cryptocurrency investment club after seeing it in a dream. He promised 35% returns per month, risk-free. For those of you who are not financially savvy, that means you would basically double your money every 2 months. Astoundingly, the scam ran for 2 years, where he stole almost $6 million from 1,500 people until the law finally caught up with him. He's now facing 20 years in prison if convicted.
So this, when I read this, sounded eerily like, I don't know if I even shared with you guys, but at Christmas Day, we're over at a friend's house, and there's this young gentleman that's trying to court my daughter. Lovely human being. But he's like, we're talking about investing and stuff. He's like, oh yeah, we got this one thing, and like everyone at the church is doing it. A little bit of background: this particular church is more Hispanic dominated. I was like, oh, cool. What are you guys doing? He's like, well, you have to be a Mexican citizen, and you take your money. Like if you give them 20 grand, they'll give you 80. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, the pastor, everyone's doing it. He's like, it started with my dad, and he told me about it. And so we're just setting this up. I was like, dude, what's the name of this thing? And so he tells me, and I think it was, is it Smart Plus? Is this the same one? I can't tell.
This one's like Solana something.
Solana, yeah. I was like, dude, I was like, I can't tell you how quickly to run away from this. He's like, no, man, it's legit. It's like, it's Mexico's 401k. And it's totally legit. You just don't like it because you're a U.S. citizen. I'm like, no, I literally Googled it, and the first thing it came up with is it's a scam. It's like, gotta get your money out there, man. So
Solana.fi. This one was called Solana.fi, and it actually was targeting Hispanic people in the U.S. So
That's
pretty
terrible.
similar.
Yeah,
it's terrible. Like
you just have to give them 20 grand and they hold on to it for 20 years. Then you can cash it out.
Isn't there an adage that if it's too good to be true, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's terrible that they give them like a fake account too, showing the numbers go up for months, right? Like, and they'll show, like, I've heard of this. I mean, my friend's a cop, and he deals with these things. Sometimes hears about them, but they'll give these accounts, and like people will just keep paying more and more into it because they're seeing these returns, and sometimes they'll do that for a year plus, until they go to pull the money out, and that's when it fails, and that's when they realize. So they've been on this euphoric high, seeing the millions of dollars they're going to make, and then they cash out, and they can't. Yeah, it's terrible.
The rug gets pulled, basically.
It's called pyramid scheme. Oh my gosh.
It's tale as old as time. Like, there's nothing new. This happens to be a different take on it, which is crypto. But Bernie Madoff did the exact same thing for 20 years. Yeah. He showed fake accounts, fake returns. Let some people withdraw their money until the pyramid collapsed.
I said the same thing. So you've heard of Bernie Madoff, right? Like, this is not a good thing. So, anyways.
But doing it at church, though, that's like a double no-no, right?
Yeah, preying on vulnerable people and abusing your position of power.
Was he thinking that stuff was going to be tax-free because it was associated with the church?
Could be.
I think this guy was no doubt, like, he was just being bad. I think this particular church that these guys are going to, they don't know any better. They just think it's all legit. I doubt the head pastor is has the domain registered under smartyplus.net or whatever it is. But this guy got 20 years behind bars.
If convicted, he'll face up to 20.
Yeah, he's going to be like in there, like, guys, I had a dream. A vision. And you guys can't sodomize me in prison. And also, give me your lunch plates. The Lord told me so.
Your commissary money. Your cup of noodles.
First target. Did I tell you this face is too pretty for jail? There's no way. No way I would ever do something like that.
So you stay on the right side of the law, Glenn.
That's right.
Or at least don't get caught.
Cody, how often is your police buddy having to field these random scams?
He doesn't field as many of these. He's like getting more time in the helicopter now. So he's actually flying over Mesa, Phoenix area. But yeah, it happens quite a lot. So I can't speak to exact numbers.
Is his name Jesse? Please tell me it's Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse.
Jesse Pinkman?
Yeah, Jesse.
He's a cool dude, yeah.
He's awesome, yeah.
Anytime. So he told me, sorry to bore you guys, but I'll bro out real quick with Cody. He's like, sometimes we'll be out and I'll go fly over. Well, never mind. I don't want to get him in trouble, but I'll text him if there's a helicopter. I'm like, is that you? And sometimes it is him. That's so funny.
So you just look down and waving at you or flipping you the bird.
Yep. Yeah, I got a
one time in.
So I got a video of him flying over, and like putting the camera on the kids and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Hopefully I don't think that'll get him in trouble, but
It was on his flight path back home.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
So one time we were like, I still like in high school, and there's like some sort of pursuit of some nature, and there was a helicopter out, and so I decided to run around like in a darty passion in this apartment complex, and then the spotlight got put on me. The next thing you know, the cops and the dogs are right there. Yeah, it was like a terrible, terrible idea. Like, yeah,
you have the fur missile sent at you.
See that welt on the side of Brian's head? That's because of that.
Because he was resisting.
Yeah, I'm sure he actually wasn't doing anything wrong either.
He's a good old boy.
Just trying to attract the wrong kind of attention. Guys, I know somebody in law enforcement, and they do special investigations, and he actually was asking me, he's like, hey, you're into crypto, right? How do I, what's a Bitcoin address? How does this thing work? Because I guess he had to investigate some kind of crypto scam, and they said, yeah, we don't get a whole lot of training on how to deal with these things. And sometimes it's a federal case, and sometimes he just has to run with it as far as he can, and then just try to figure out who took the money. And I said, unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, it's got to be somebody in North Korea or Russia. It's going to be outside your jurisdiction.
Yeah, I had a buddy. Well, not a buddy. I met the FBI agent for like the cybercrimes division in Arizona. He's like, when they always say the FBI is looking into this, at least for like Arizona. He's like, the team. He goes, it's just me. I'm
the whole state.
Just for the entire state, everything online. It's just me. Just trying to figure out what's trying to prioritize. And he goes, most of the time it's like public data that is put into an Excel spreadsheet and made to look like it was a giant breach. He's like, dude, this is just the encyclopedia. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, and even with like ransomware, when I talk to people in law enforcement, they say unless it's like 7-8 figure loss, maybe probably even like 8 figure, like there's just not enough resources. Like we'll take the report, we'll do what we can, but unless it's a significant loss or high profile, like there's not a whole lot we can do.
I will hype up USAA real quick. So, friend of a friend of a friend got caught up like in a weird crypto scandal, and he actually transferred money out. And so he did like a wire transfer, the whole 9 yards. Got a phone call from USAA, and they said, basically, what the hell are you doing? Like, where you're sending this money to is not where it should go. We're gonna get your. They actually got the money back. They held on to it for 6 weeks, and then they fired him as a customer. It's like, here's your money, leave, don't ever come back.
You're too big of a liability.
I don't know that like a Bank of America or Wells Fargo would be able to retrieve that money. I almost half feel that since they are associated with like federal government, that maybe they had a little bit more pull to get that money back before it was too late.
Yeah, or they have better checks, better risk management than the big banks.
Yeah.
Well, good on them. Always looking out for the most vulnerable. For a third topic related to cryptocurrency scam, Brian tells me that Cody has some stories about maybe embezzlement or malfeasance in startup life. So I just left this as an open topic. Cody, if you have any fun stories you'd like to share with us and the audience.
Oh man, yeah, I'll share some without, or I'll share one without giving any names of the company or anything like that. But just a fun part for any listeners who like to dabble in the startup space. Eventually, you'll run into something like this, I feel like. But I was going to work for an e-commerce app company, like a Shopify app. And it was urgent that I get in there. It was the pitch to going there was, the app is 98% there. It's like it's missing that 2% to get it over the line, get it out to customers. We have customers waiting, all that. I quit my job on a Friday, started on a Monday. They had 2 developers there previously who were building the app. I show up on Monday. The developers are gone. I was told they're fired. And the CFO, there's like three or four employees at this company at this point. I'm like employee number 4. There's a CEO, his right-hand man, an office assistant, and like the CFO. And so I guess I'm coming in as like employee 5. But the CFO pulls me in a room day 1 after I just quit my other job. He says, "Hey, the CEO is embezzling money. That 300 grand that he told you we raised like a couple weeks ago is almost gone. Yeah, is almost gone."
Wow.
So we have like a few weeks, or like a month, I don't remember exactly, like to get this figured out before we're out of money. And so that was probably like the craziest day 1 I've ever had at a job. I found out the 2 developers weren't fired. They actually quit, and they were afraid to come into the office because the CEO had actually threatened to beat their kneecaps in with a baseball bat. And so
why? Because he was going to rat him out?
I don't know, not fast enough, I guess. But one of the devs too, it's actually really sad. I stayed in touch with this guy for a while. He was fresh out of college, first job, right, in the real world, going to work for this startup. The CEO they were all working out of his the CEO's parents' house at the time, and the CEO would give this junior dev Adderall to like stay up through the night and like just work nights to keep cranking on the product. And so like this kid fresh out of college, like, just innocent, coming into the workplace, getting fed drugs to stay up through the night and code.
Amphetamines.
Yeah. And I ended up, looking back, I don't know why, but I hired a buddy to come help me code this out. We got the app out and we're able to raise, a couple $1 million off of that. Actually, that happened right after me leaving. I made it 3 months, and similar to that first day, there were other experiences that happened. I had to jump ship. I didn't make it very long at that company, but they actually ended up becoming over $1 billion company, like valuation wise. So my chunk of equity that I walked away from ultimately would have been like close to $40 million. So that one,
wow.
Yeah, that one hurt, but
you just never know though.
Yeah. So it's like I tasted that startup, like you watch like these movies and documentaries on startups and stuff. Like I had it, like I was tasting it. Everything was there. The startup, like from day 1, we got it launched and customers started signing up, and it kind of, again, I can't get into too many specifics with company name and stuff, but like it ended up kind of like creating like a new like industry or a new segment within Shopify that took off. But so it's like I was that close. That's the closest I've been to a successful startup story. But and then
so what happened to the CEO? Inquiring minds want to know what happened to the CEO.
I was like, did they at least oust him before the next fundraise?
Oh, no, this is what's crazy. So after I leave, I get a call from the investors, right? The current investors, and I have like this like hour-long call with this investor, and he's talking to me, like asking me, about all of like the embezzling and that stuff. And I tell him all of that. And at the end of that call, he was like, "Hey, like, we need you to take down your Glassdoor review." And that's where it was like, it clicked for me. I was like, oh, like, this call wasn't to find out about what was happening so that they could like try to get the CEO. This is like the call to like try to get me to take down my they thought I posted multiple Glassdoors. I didn't, or reviews. It was just my one, but they were trying to get me to take down my review and really keep going. They push on. They basically pitched the next set of investors who put in tens of millions of dollars, and then the next set, they've raised a few rounds, I think, in the tens of millions to get that valuation. But so I've heard, and if you go, I can't say the name, but the Glassdoor reviews are pretty funny. I have a buddy that still works there and tells me some stories. So I've heard things like he's bought a mansion in LA with company funds. There's been a T-Rex skull in the mansion. Like he purchased some like crazy expensive fossil, and then he was the first person. Again, these are all just rumors, so take that. I'm not I'm not trying to get sued or my kneecaps beat with a baseball bat. So, and he was one of the first to experience, I think he paid like $150,000 or something to go be the first to visit some Egyptian tomb or something like that. Like, so the CEOs made out pretty well, to be honest. So.
Well, hopefully, I guess wishful thinking. I was kind of hoping he said that he went down to go see the Titanic, but I guess he's still around kicking.
I don't know. I haven't read the reviews lately, but he's probably been down there.
That's wild. So, so for Chris and Glenn, they live in like near or around the Bay Area. So I would think like startup life would be a heck of a lot easier for them. But like you have definitely a pattern of it. And dude, I don't know anyone that's ever been employee number 5 at a company. So what has been your secret to rooting these things out? Is it just, are you superior developer? You have connections from college? Like what made that happen?
I think it's kind of more just personality driven, to be honest. I think, there's people that thrive in different types of environments. And for whatever reason, I have something sick and broken in my brain where I like the chaos of the startups, right? So I go through these periods of, all in, very intense, working nights, working weekends, being highly committed to a startup. And then, needing to recover sometimes. So like for me, a big company, if I go to a job with like over 100 employees, I'd call it big. I think the biggest company I've worked at was like 600 employees, and that felt massive and corporate-y to me, right? And so I think a lot of it, is just coming down to personality, of liking, to wear multiple hats. Like, I've kind of been a front end developer, full stack, but you're doing DevOps sometimes. You're up at night when the site breaks. So those are, and then you're involved on the business side too, which I've always been interested in that side. And so if you're someone who tends to be more business minded and you're thinking how the software and the features you're building are going to affect the bottom line of the business, I think those types of people, and that just happens to be my personality, thrive in startups. So that's kind of why I find myself going back to them.
Are you almost exclusively remote, or are these startups in Arizona?
Yeah, so I moved down. So I was living up in Utah before, and we moved down to Arizona about 2 years ago. And I will say it's been harder. I'm still not tapped into the startup ecosystem here as much. I feel like Utah has in California, right? I've been part of Bay Area startups as well. Thriving startup technology ecosystems in both of those places. Arizona, not as much. And that's when I heard about Diaper, it's a e-commerce company. So it's a diaper brand, right? Kind of a premium diaper with compostable diapers. But what drew me to them being down here is they're Arizona based, and there is this whole technology component needing to be built out for a diaper pickup program. And so our diapers are compostable, and we have a service that, actually comes to your doorstep, picks up your used diapers and takes them to be composted and turned into essentially soil in, a few weeks. So that's been the first startup experience here.
This is good.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't offer adult diapers yet. I can see Glenn's getting excited over there, but baby diapers exclusively right now. So let's see if there's a demand after this podcast for adult diapers. You guys can let me know, and we'll make it happen.
The only place I've ever heard of a compostable human waste is in North Korea. I don't think any other country does that, right? So
you should seriously consider expanding to Japan, because they have a very aging population there, and a lot of the actually they have low birth rates and they have high elderly rates. So that actually a lot of the traditional baby diaper companies are converting to adult diapers and expanding into Japan.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm sure if you took a sample of Glenn's diaper, it'd be 99% Tito's vodka. He's going on with this guy.
1% Taco Bell.
Yeah. The founder
blood sample. It's blood sample.
Yeah, we found. I think the founders tested it early on, and they basically found that adults didn't care as much at that point, right? Like if their diaper is compostable, they're on their last days. They don't. They're at this point, it's in our hands. So
that's funny.
Like screw Mother Earth.
Literally,
I'm out of
yeah,
here.
screw. Yeah, I'm done here. So
This is your problem to deal with now.
yeah.
So one more question for you, Cody, and then I'll let Chris and Glenn ask them. Obviously there's a significant age gap between us and you. So I look at you, you're young, you started your family, really early as well, but you're somehow able to do this, right? Like in today's economy. So I would argue that you have to be somewhat successful. So what's been the maybe the magic behind that, and how would you give guidance to other up-and-comer software engineers that are out there?
Yeah. Well, appreciate that. Yeah, it's a grind for sure in the startup world. It doesn't always feel like you're winning and doing great things, but have had some good wins and, overall, I'd say a great career so far. But ultimately, I think it comes down to being passionate, and having good discipline. So like I would say my discipline came from a sports background actually, which is maybe a little more rare on the tech side too. But, I grew up, wanting to be a pro baseball player, and then in high school wanting to be a pro golfer. And so I was always pouring 8+ hours a day, into whatever sport. And then in college, I got to play college golf for a couple of years. So I'd say discipline is huge. when I'm passionate about something, I just dive all in and I spend countless hours on it. Right. And it doesn't feel like, that hard to me because I'm enjoying those hours that I'm putting in. And then, on the family side, which you touched on, obviously my wife has been, we got married really young. She's actually 6 years younger than me. I was 24. She was 18. When we got married. We now have 3 kids. We jumped right into it. I think we were pregnant 3.5 months into the marriage. So we dove in, had 3 kids while doing startups the whole time. And I can't say they're like she hasn't ever not been mad. Like she's got mad at me a few times for being on the computer at night and stuff, which is totally understandable. But overall, she's been super supportive, right? And that's something, you guys have all been married longer than me. I'm not a marriage expert, but that's something, just communicating with her, and her allowing me to kind of like chase some of these dreams when it has been a risk for our family, like that story I told you of like the embezzling company. I one of the most scared texts I've ever sent my wife was when I quit on the spot that job. Literally never done that, had no backup plan yet or anything. I'm the sole financial provider. I took a selfie, like a selfie of me with my own chair and monitor, because I literally brought my own stuff to the office, wheeling my own chair and monitor out with the building behind me saying I just quit. And her response was like, I'm so happy for you, because of all the stress she saw I was going through for those few months. But that's like a good, indication of, my wife's support level, where I'm thinking she's going to kill me because now we don't have an income for the next little bit. And it was the exact opposite. She was happy for me, emotionally, and knew I would be able to support, in the coming weeks. So great wife, and then the kids are awesome. Like I love my kids, and they actually inspire me now at this point. So once you have a few kids, they start getting older. I feel like it becomes inspiring to keep going and stuff. So
I think that old Chinese proverb, right? Like behind every successful man is a woman, right? Like a great woman, and behind every woman is a man wondering if she's ready yet. I'll leave it at that.
Wow. Is that a dad joke? Did you just do a dad joke?
It was covert, but it was there.
I was thinking, it's like Brian, I'm wondering where he's going with this, because he got the first part, which is what everybody knows. Well, like I'm waiting for the punchline. And there it is.
Chris knows me all too well.
I do. All right, for our last topic, and it'll be a rotating topic every week, just like we did last year, we're going to talk about the Google Trends for this past year. So now that 2024 is in our rearview mirror, we could see what was trending and see which one of you, so you three, since I know the answers, so which one of you three will get the answer correct. And we have a bunch of topics here. I don't think we'll get through all of them, so I'll just start from the top. And these are the most searched terms on Google. So think of the year 2024. What do you think the top overall search was for year 2024?
So like US or world view?
This is US, I believe. Yes, US. US only.
Kamala. Trump.
Kamala was number 5. Trump was number 2.
Is Brian Deitch really bald?
Not even in the top 10.
Damn it. Come on, guys.
What would be Elon?
Election.
Let's see. Elon, not top 10. Brian did get it correct. Top search for 2024 in the U.S., election. Obviously, it was a presidential election year. People were looking for resources related to that. Top 2 candidates. Trump got number 2. Harris got number 5. But election overall was the number 1 answer. Top death. They call them passings, but we don't have to be PC on this. Top death search for in 2024.
Joe Biden.
No. He acted that way. He did not actually pass in 2024.
Okay. He's still around?
Democratic Party.
No. Another good guess, but no. These are actual names, Glenn, not ideas.
Okay.
So
Well, Jimmy Carter was just recent, right? Jimmy Carter was
2025. So just
25.
Yeah, so think of our recap episode. If you're paying attention to our recap episode, most of them are actually here.
I thought it would be P. Diddy, but he made it, right? So
yeah, Diddy's still alive for now.
Diddy made it so far.
It would have to be something that kids like my daughters. It was a guy, right? It has to be.
Oh, was that the guy from the boy band?
Yes,
what's his name?
You're on the right track, Glenn.
Justin Timberlake.
Shane.
Got it.
No, not Shane.
Justin Timberlake got a DWI, but he didn't die.
Yeah.
Liam Payne. So Glenn's thinking of Liam Payne. That's number 2.
Okay.
Number 2.
He's number 2.
James
Number
Earl
1.
Jones.
Yes, James Earl Jones. Number 4. Brian is actually surprised because Brian didn't know this person had died in 2024. Is the number 1.
Oh. It was that girl, the YouTuber.
The YouTuber?
Yeah, remember like the van and then the boyfriend
Gabby
went out in the
Petito?
woods? Yeah.
Gabby
that was
Petito?
like 2 years ago.
That was like 2 years ago.
Oh. She's still not listening.
I don't know. It's going to be an aha moment.
Initials TK.
Who?
I don't know.
Initials are TK.
J.K. Rollins? I'm not following.
TK.
No.
Tiger King.
TK.
Country singer.
Oh, Toby Keith.
Toby Keith, number 1.
Toby Keith passed
Yeah.
away?
Yep.
That was the exact same reaction Brian had when we did this on our recap episode a few weeks ago, Glenn.
Sorry.
I thought he did that song like in a small town, but that's a different person.
That's Jason Aldean.
Yeah, it's Jason Aldean. Yeah. Okay.
Toby Keith did The Angry American, I think. That was the one after 9/11. Then rounding out the top 5, Toby Keith 1, Liam Payne 2, O.J. Simpson, number 3. Glenn got James Earl Jones. And then number 5, Rich Homie Quan. I don't know who that is. Like, it's kind of sad. Like,
He's part of Wu-Tang, right?
You might know better than me. Like, I like to think I'm plugged in on current events and current trends, but like when I look at like top song and top artists and things like that, I'm like, I know maybe 2 of the top 10, so clearly not that well plugged in. All right, top person search. I think we hit on all of them already. Donald Trump 1, Harris 2, JD Vance 3, Joe Biden 4, 5, Catherine, Princess of Wales, I guess, because she went through some kind of cancer scare or medical scare and she was disappeared for a few weeks.
What about Andy Dick?
No,
Still
Andy
alive.
Dick.
Jose Canseco.
Tim Walz, number 6.
Ashley Simpson. What year is this? I don't know.
All right, top actor. I was surprised on who the top search actors.
Was there any?
Actress.
I mean,
Vanilla
were there any
Ice.
good movies this last year? That's the thing, right? So
they weren't related, as far as I can tell. Like I only know a few of them. So of the top 5, I only know 2 of them, and I don't think it was because of their acting this year. This might be
Dude
hard.
from Beast,
I should actually skip this
Jake
one.
Gyllenhaal.
For some reason, and I think I might know the reason, the number 1 top search actor for 2024. I'll give Cody a chance. He wanted to speak up.
Oh no, I was just
He'll
gonna
let you know.
the This Is Us, or is that what it's called? This Is Us. The drama between
That TV show.
the two main actors, like all the lawsuits going around right now. They're like suing for like $250 million. I could see a lot of searches coming off of that.
What?
Yeah, what?
Huh.
I should know the names
Yeah, I
off
have
the
to
top
look
of
at
my
Jack?
head.
because I don't know those.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
That
so
show,
Blake-
season 1 will make you
Blake-
cry. If you're a human being, you cry.
This Is Us.
So
It ends
Blake
with
Blake
us.
Lively
Okay,
and
so Blake
Justin
Lively, Justin
Baldoni.
Baldini.
Yeah, they're like involved in massive.
No.
I know my wife
Not
read the
even the
book
top
and
10.
she's obsessed with it. So I went and saw it. But yeah, they're like suing each
You let
other
your
for
wife read?
only on
top-
Saturdays.
Oh, okay.
The top search actor was Cat Williams, and I don't think he did a movie this year, but I think he was like right in the middle of all the Diddy stuff. Like he outed
Yeah.
a bunch of people, so I think that's probably why he was trending this year.
That and Bigfoot. Yeah.
And Bigfoot.
I don't know.
Let's move on to top movie of 2024, and these are searches. Top search.
These
movies.
are searches.
Yeah.
Skip. There's no
Moana
way.
2.
Yeah.
Moana 2
Wicked.
is not
Yeah.
here. Wicked
Yeah,
was
Wicked,
not on
no.
here.
The Beekeeper.
Beekeeper was unfortunately not on here.
This Is Us. I gotta throw
What
it
was
up.
the other one that came out?
Yes. All right, so Cody, I know what you're thinking of. It ends with us.
It
so that's
ends
number
with
3.
us. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know
No idea.
Glenn for sure has seen a bunch of these movies because he said these were his top movies of 2024.
Oh,
Oh, Inside Out.
Inside Out, yes. So Brian got number 1. Inside Out number 2.
really?
Dead-
Deadpool,
Like,
Wolverine.
He goes to what?
Yes,
Oh,
Deadpool
yeah,
versus
that-
Wolverine,
Deadpool.
number 7. Good.
Oh, no way. Really? So low. Probably because rated R.
Yeah.
Then again, it was this search.
I can't even remember what I watched this year or last.
It's
year.
always you, your wife, a bag of popcorn, a soda, and an empty movie theater. Every
That's
time you
right.
take a
Love
selfie.
it. Love
There's
it.
no one
Love
there.
it.
with
Love
with a cutout on the bottom of the popcorn bucket.
Great moments of hookup history.
Number 5 was Vic's favorite movie, Dune.
Oh, that was a good one.
Number 6 was Twisters. I know for sure Glenn saw that because he said
No, I don't remember that.
he
one.
watched it.
I didn't watch that. I think the kids watched that one.
Luke Combs had a great song in there.
All right, I think we'll round it out. Last category, top searched athlete of 2024.
Oh, that's easy. That dude with the giant dong that lost the high jump thing. Or the pole vault. He lost a pole vault with his pole. It was amazing.
All right, you got to pick out his name because I don't even know his name.
Top search athlete?
Is it Taylor Swift?
It wasn't him? Are you kidding?
Wasn't
I
wasn't
said
LeBron
for
James, right? Was
Is
it?
not an athlete.
Was
LeBron
that-
James. Nope, not top 10. Surprisingly.
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy, not top 10.
Wow.
There is a
Patrick
49er on
Mahomes.
here.
Oh, Christian McCaffrey.
Mahomes, no. McCafferty, no, surprisingly.
Kittle then. It's got to be Kittle.
George Kittle, nope. So
Debo.
for Brian,
Debo?
Anthony Amarati is who you're thinking of, and he was not in the top 10. Debo is
He
not
should
in
have
the
been.
top 10.
It's got to
Top
be
10
that
in the
guy
world,
that,
if you know
that
what
just
I mean.
gave up. It's got to be the guy that gave up in the middle of the game.
Antonio
Can't remember
Brown.
his No, there was another guy. Yeah. So, anyways, all right, let's get going.
All right, think of the most popular sporting events that happened in 2024. I would say, okay, yeah. Most popular sporting events in 2024.
Basketball? Baseball?
No, it's got to be Olympics.
There are some Olympians
Was it the
on here.
breakdancer? That fool?
Oh.
She was not, but I think she was the most searched routine or something. She did get a credit on here as a top search. Top performance search was ray gun full performance. So Brian got half credit for that. All right, so the 49er, Brandon Ayuk, he's number 10. And think of, let's see, a very big event that we all felt was rigged.
Who's weird? Are you pregnant? Because I don't know.
We talked about it. We talked about it on the show. We talked about it in the group chat. We all felt this particular sporting event was rigged.
Oh, the Jake Paul.
Boxing, Jake Paul.
Mike Tyson.
Yes.
Mike Tyson.
Oh, yes.
So Mike Tyson, number 1 search athlete. Jake Paul is number 5. The Tyson-Paul fight. We all felt it was rigged.
Definitely was.
We're scripted.
For sure. Yeah, it was 100% scripted.
Yeah. All right. So Emain Kahilf, I think that was the he-she boxer from the Olympics, if I remember correctly. Simone Biles, Olympian. Scotty Schaefer. Caitlin Clark was number 7, WNBA. Jordan Childs, another Olympian, number 9.
I should have got the golfer, Scotty Scheffler. He had a year, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, we continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week.
Dad joke of the week.
This week, our guest, Cody, is up.
All right. So what do you call a deer with no eyes?
What's that, Cody?
No idea.
Yeah.
Wait. It gets better. It gets better. What do you call What do you call a dead deer with no eyes? Still no idea.
So this shows the discrepancy in searching, because we've never heard this one, and he's brand new.
I went deep into the Reddit rabbit hole for that. I was like, I know everyone's gonna like Google top dad jokes, so I had to go deep for that one. So thanks to the Reddit community for that.
All right, and what was your Reddit username again? Just kidding, I'll share that.
Don't know.
It's anonymous.
All right, since Cody brought up that he is a front-end developer, I'm going to bring in a bonus dad joke.
Okay.
Why do front-end developers eat lunch alone? It's because they don't know how to join tables. Got some smiling nods.
I'm a front end. I don't understand what's join mean.
All right,
you asked the back end developer to do it. That's the real answer.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap things up. Do not reply to or click on links in unsolicited text messages. If your religious institution sets up a crypto investment fund, be skeptical. Startup life can have a bunch of malfeasance involved with it. And we want a Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fair rematch. That's all I have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. You can find us all on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank you to our listeners and subscribers who rated us 5 stars in the iTunes Store and Spotify and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is search for the PEBCAK Podcast on your favorite podcast listening app. For my co-hosts Brian Deach and Glenn Medina and our guest Cody Anderson, I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next week, and as always, have a nice day.
Bye, Felicia.
Have a nice day.